You being able to play a lot faster this year? Does it feel like that you're going to be able to?
Well, all indications of our closing squad scrimmage versus ourselves, and then our scrimmage Friday versus A&M. You know, we're more skilled. We pass it, we shoot it better. When the ball leaves the guy's hands, it looks like it's going in. And the first two inter-squad scrimmages, it went in. So, versus certain people, I think we are going to be able to get up and down the floor, but it's all based on how many stops you get. And obviously, with the new rule change, free throws, you know, you got to put some pressure on your opponents. You got to put some pressure on the guys who call the game by attacking the basket. And so I think we're going to be able to get up and down a little bit. Well, it was 80 to 74 Friday. NCAA rules on those fouls to comment on it. And prior to that, amongst ourselves, it was 61 to 57. I stopped it with 6 minutes to go. And this time last year, in the inter-squad scrimmage, we scored 40. It was 41 to 37 in the full game. So I'm optimistically excited about that.
You have a exhibition match coming up pretty soon. What are you hoping to take from that? What are you looking for the most out of your players?
Well, we need to play well, and we need to win. I'm very familiar with Fort Smith, Arkansas. They've got 3 guys on their basketball team. They're Division I transfers. The head coach, Josh Newman, I worked with. He was one of my assistants at Nevada and was primarily responsible for, along with some other guys, helping us get that thing going in the right direction. So this is a very well-coached basketball team and talented, very skilled. So the bottom line for us, we need to be prepared to win the game and play well.
Coach, you obviously brought in guys who can score, but defense is always very important to you. Have they been able to step that up as well? I know Karviar, obviously that's important to him, but how about the other young guys?
Well, we got a ways to go. Let's be honest about that. We have a ways to go. We're not vocal enough. There's a trust factor that's involved when you have a lot of older guys and a lot of young new guys that they can trust by communication. Are they working hard at it? Yes, they are. Can we get there? Yes, we can. But right now, we're nowhere near as where we need to be able to compete against, you know, high-caliber basketball teams from start to finish. But the most impressive thing about this group is they're very coachable and they're very, very competitive in their own way. Yesterday was probably, you know, worst practice we've had since this group has been together, and I'm going back to practice 10 days prior to Canada. But that's got to get rectified, and that's my responsibility. So, but one bad practice in 2 weeks is not that bad.
Coach, what does it mean to have Emmerich back?
Well, he's not back yet. He's not back yet. I thought Kobe Bryant said something that was really, really good. When he's ready, or when guys are back and ready to play, that's when they're ready. You know, I'm not a doctor. You know, Emmerich had a series of setbacks. Bottom line is he looks good physically. His spirit's up, which is probably the most important thing. Our medical people have done an excellent job in terms of his rehab, but you know, he's not back. And even if he was back, say tomorrow or the next day, I mean, he's got to get in some game shape. He's got to get in some basketball shape. This game is hard enough to play. It's hard enough to play if you're completely healthy and you miss a year. So he's got a ways to go, but his spirits are up.
Any word on Chris Washburn? Do you know when you'll hear on his eligibility?
No, I don't. That's we're waiting on the NCAA, obviously. We thought we'd have heard something prior to this week, but we haven't. So, you know, usually they'll get back to you before the first real contest, which is SMU for us on November 8th, so we should hear anytime now.
How helpful was the Canadian trip with such a young team?
Well, it was really helpful because of the caliber of people we played, and the main goal as a basketball staff with this team with so many young guys blending with some of the older guys, and some of the older guys, a la Jarvis, who you just spoke to, who broke his foot, didn't play last year, was finding out how competitive for them and how tough-minded mentally and physically they had to be to compete at this level. That's why we practiced 10 days, had an off day, which was a travel day, and played 4 games in 4 days versus very, very good competition. I mean, Carleton State is the equivalent of a Butler, and University of Ottawa is a high-level basketball team. So, and then it was a bad scheduling move on Coach Johnson's part because the Montreal All-Stars and the Carleton All-Stars were older, more experienced guys that were really, really physical and really knew how to play. So I thought we'd get maybe 1 game in there where we could just play everybody. But we got challenged, and the good thing is we came out of it knowing they came out of it, we as a staff came out of it also knowing that, you know what, if we do these things and compete at a high level, we're going to be in games, and then it's just a matter of us winning our share of basketball games.
What does Price bring to the team?
What is who?
Price?
Well, you know, he shoots it. He's got a high basketball IQ at times. He's still a freshman. The thing that I've been impressed with Hudson probably more so than anything is, you know, he takes the ball to the rim. He's strong and he's a good rebounder. Obviously, he shoots the ball, he can score, but being able to take the ball to the basket, being able to rebound the basketball, especially with our basketball this team this year, is really going to help us because he's pretty versatile. We're going to play him at the 3, but there are going to be times if Chris Washburn is not eligible and if Amrick doesn't come back full speed, then we're going to have to play him at some post, meaning the 4 position. So,
How many would you like to have in a rotation?
how many I like to have in rotation? I like to have this. We got 13 scholarship guys. I like to have 13 guys that can play. And then, you know, best man steps forward and plays. Make no mistake, but you can never have enough good players. You know, everybody talks about a rotation. And that's a good question, but I don't determine who plays and when they play. I mean, they do in practice in terms of how they compete and how coachable they are and what they know about our system offensively and defensively. And then games like the A&M scrimmage, games like scrimmaging versus ourselves. And then also from a standpoint of what we'll see come versus Fort Smith, Arkansas. But again, that's kids decide that.
Any other questions for Coach?
Coach, this freshman class is sort of regarded as one of the better classes TCU's had in a long time. What are some of your kind of personal expectations for them sort of moving forward?
It's been the same with any recruiting class I've ever been affiliated with, regardless of the ranking. Let's let them be judged on how they end their career. And, you know, it's not coaches speak, that's just a fact. There's so much goes on during the course of a college basketball player's career, whether it be injuries, whether it be better players come in, so on and so forth. Let's judge it at the end of their career, and then the ultimate is judged off of winning. Bottom line, judged off of winning.
How, Jarvis, let's start with you. Does it feel different this year? And if so, what feels different?
The chemistry on and off the court with the guys, they're really fun to be around. And on the court, we push each other, and we never take nothing personal, you know. And it just feels good to be around them.
How about the early season scrimmages? I mean, can you tell a difference as far as the talent level is concerned on the floor?
Yes, I can. I mean, we're more physical, more faster, and we compete. We compete really hard.
Karviar, how about you? It's your first year, obviously. Is it kind of what you thought it would be?
Oh yeah, I felt like it would be a good feeling coming in because I knew some of the guys already, and I felt that the chemistry they had from before would get better, especially with the incoming freshmen we have, and the intensity of practice would get better, and I feel like the season would be better. So,
You've already had to take on, not had to, but taken on a little bit of a leadership role. What's that like as a freshman doing that?
coming out of high school, you know, I was a leader in high school, so it was really not that much, you know, I had to change. But I know that it's other people on the team, so I have to, you know, follow their lead too at the same time. So, I mean, getting wisdom from both older and younger, it helps me a lot to be a better leader in the upcoming years. But, you know, just playing defense is the best way to help lead your team to a successful year.
How about the intensity under Coach Johnson as opposed to your high school? Right.
It's more intensity. Like Jarvis said, the guys push themselves hard, and we push each other hard, and we play game speed defense and offense, and we just do whatever it takes so we can win during the season.
Jarvis, what does it mean to have Emmerich back after that ACL tear?
It's really helpful. It's really good to see, you know, one of my teammates that I haven't played with. I felt like I haven't played with him in so long. So I feel like it's our freshman year back playing together. So it makes me really happy to see Emmerich back.
Jarvis, you were playing really well last year until you got hurt, and then you got hurt, and obviously that ended your season. Talk about coming back and playing with a chip on your shoulder this year. I know that's something that you want to do.
Yeah, I do have a chip on my shoulder because I felt like I haven't played in so long, and I had something to prove to like a lot of people, to my teammates, and I could be their leader. And I kind of didn't have that chance. I had it, but I got hurt, so it kind of took me, it kind of made me fall back a little bit. So yes, I do have a chip on my shoulder.
Jarvis, how impressed have you been with these young guys, the freshmen? How impressed have you been with Karviar?
I've been really impressed. You know, they came in and they playing a big role, and they play hard, they stick together, and it's just a good feeling to see young guys come in from high school and come together like that. It feels really good.
Does Karviar seem like he's older than 17 or 18 or whatever?
Yeah, sometimes he say things to me, and I feel like, you know, he's older than me. He's a senior, even a fifth year senior. He talks like I listen to him. So I take a lot of things from the young guys too.
Are they going to help you play faster? Is that one of the things you want to do this year?
Yes. Our freshmen come in and they're really fast. They move, and it's that pace that we want to play in order to win games.
Karviar, talk about the opportunity to play for Coach Johnson, Coach Scott, you know, a group of coaches that have put 5, 6 big men in the NBA, and how, you know, you could be the next adding to that list.
It feels great, especially knowing that they have people going to the NBA. It's going to help me in the long run, and also my teammates, because the harder I work and the harder they push me as the coaches will help me push Jarvis harder or everybody else on the team harder. And, you know, that's one of the main goals of every NCAA player, is to make it to the league. So obviously you want somebody that's been there and done that and put people in the league to put you there.
Any other questions for these guys?